Hi kids, welcome to another Kids Central Online. I'm so glad you've joined me today. I'm sorry I was not able to be with you last week. The week before was Easter, and I hope you had a wonderful day celebrating how Jesus is alive. Such good news for us that He lives and He is working to bring about good in our lives and to bring God glory. So last week when I was not with you, the kids in Kids Central learned about the tabernacle. Now this was the actual structure or building that God gave Moses instructions to build. And this is where God's presence would dwell with the Israelite people as they were traveling. There were very specific instructions that Moses and the people had to follow in order to build this tabernacle. We learned that after Jesus came to earth, He died on the cross and rose again. The Bible says we are now the temple or the tabernacle of God. God's Spirit dwells in our hearts. His presence is always with us. Jesus says, I will never leave you or forsake you. God desires to be with us all the time. And we now have that great blessing through faith in Jesus. The story today is called The Golden Calf. And once again, we're reading out of the Gospel Story Bible. This story is found in Exodus chapter 32. All right, here we go. God spent a lot of time telling Moses about the tabernacle and the objects that would go inside of it. The tabernacle would help the people understand more about God and teach them how to worship and serve Him. So God gave Moses a detailed design for a golden lampstand, an altar, the priest's clothing, and many other items. God even told Moses the names of the people who should make these things. Then God wrote the laws He gave to Moses on stone tablets. Remember, God gave Moses the 10 Commandments and also other laws. These laws were a way of helping God's people to live a good life. These laws taught God's people how to love Him and how to love other people. While all of this was happening, God was giving Moses all of these instructions and the laws, the people in the camp grew tired of waiting for Moses to come down from the mountain. They went to Aaron and said, "We don't know what has happened to Moses. He brought us up out of Egypt, but he has been gone a long time. We need some new gods to take us where we need to go." These people started thinking they needed to turn to other gods. We know according to the Bible that God in heaven, the one who created the heavens and the earth, is the only true and living God. Let's see what happens. We need some new gods to take us where we need to go. We want you, Aaron, to make them for us. Think about that. God was planning to live with the Israelites, and they were already forgetting about Him. He was giving Moses all these instructions to build this special tabernacle where His presence could dwell in the midst of His people, and they were already forgetting about Him. Aaron did what the people asked. He collected gold from the people, melted it, and formed it into an idol in the shape of a baby cow, a calf. Then Aaron said to the people, "Here you are. This is the God who led you out of Egypt. Tomorrow we will have a special feast to worship him." Did you think that Aaron would forget the Lord so quickly after all he had done for them? Imagine how God felt. He knew what was happening even while he was talking with Moses. Whoa, let's stop right here. Did you hear what Aaron said? He said, "Behold the God who led you out of Egypt." This was not the God who led them out of Egypt. They made this God out of gold themselves. The one true and living God cannot be created. We can't make him like they made this golden calf. The Lord told Moses that the people had made a golden calf and they were worshiping and offering sacrifices to it. This made the Lord very angry. He said he would destroy the people who had turned their backs on him and make a great nation out of Moses' family instead. God was ready to give the people what they deserved: death. The Bible says that sin deserves death. That's why the good news of Jesus is so good, because we have all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. We all deserve death. But Jesus took that punishment instead of us. So here God is ready to destroy these people. What does Moses do? Moses remembered that God gave him the job to take care of the people and speak up for them when they were in trouble, just like they were now. So Moses reminded God of his promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He asked God not to destroy them because they were the people God had promised would become as many as the stars in the sky. The Lord listened as Moses pleaded for the people, and he decided not to destroy them. Wow. Then Moses left the mountain to go down to the people. He carried with him the tablets of stone that had God's word written on them. When Moses saw the golden calf, he threw down the stone tablets and broke them into pieces. He burned the golden calf with fire. He ground the gold into powder and scattered it on the water. Then Moses made the people drink it as a punishment. Oh, that probably made them feel very sick. But this was a small punishment compared to death. God used Moses as a mediator for Israel. That it means he was in the middle of God and the people of Israel. God would speak to Moses, and Moses would tell the people what God said. Moses also stood in the middle in times of trouble. When Israel sinned, Moses asked God to forgive them. Moses was a sinner too, but God listened to him as the mediator. Do you know who the Bible says is the true and better mediator? If you guessed Jesus, you are correct. Moses in this story is pointing us to Jesus. In the future, Jesus became the perfect and sinless mediator between a sinful people, that's us, you and me, and a holy God. See, Moses was a sinner, Jesus was not. He was perfect. That's why he's the true and better mediator. Though Moses stood in the middle for the people, he could not take away Israel's sins. He could not take the punishment they deserved. Only Jesus could do that. And he did that for anyone who trusts in him. Even today, Jesus remains our mediator, praying for us before the Father in heaven. Jesus is alive and he is still working on our behalf. He sits next to God the Father in heaven. He is fighting for us. He is praying for us. He is working with the Father to give us what is best for us. When Satan, our accuser, says they've sinned, Jesus is ready right there to say, I've already paid for that sin. That is our story today, and I'm going to include some continuing the conversation questions. These are questions that you and your parents can talk about related to the story. You can dive a little deeper and think a little bit more about what you learned today. So I encourage you to remind your parents that those questions are in the description of this video. Talk about them at dinner. Talk about them when you're driving in the car. Find a time to talk about those questions together and learn more about God's Word as a family. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Get outside, get some fresh air, enjoy the sunshine, and I will see you right back here for another Kid Central Online next week. Take care.